welcome back to the Jersey Shorts podcast. This is episode 14, and I'm your host, Rain. And with me here is Miguel and Juan. What is up, guys?
What up? What up?
All good. All good.
Oh, good. Oh, good. So, a lot has happened the past week. The in-season tournament concluded. Also, Bronny made his debut a
Yeah.
while back in college.
Yeah, good to see that, man. Good to
Congratulations
see, yeah.
for Bronny. Yeah.
And
Because
Bryce won that little tournament thing, the Beverly Hills tournament thing
Oh,
with
yeah.
teammates with Scottie Pippen, and which I would not have known if I wasn't given like a certain topic this morning. I was like,
It's Justin Pippen. Right.
yeah,
yeah.
I have a kid.
But yeah, so kudos to Bronny because, as we all know, he had a health scare. Like he suffered from a cardiac arrest over the summer, and now he made his way back to like 100% in health. He had a decent, like, I'd say decent performance. 4 points. I think he got like 3 rebounds,
He
2 assists,
had
right?
I think he
2
had 2
steals.
steals and a block.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he
chase
had a
down
chase
block.
down.
Yeah.
yeah. That's a good game for like someone who's coming back from an illness. Obviously,
Yeah.
you don't wanna push yourself too hard immediately.
Yeah.
But it's great to see him back, and I think we're gonna see a lot more of him, and he's gonna get better, like numbers wise, because obviously these numbers they're okay, they're not eye popping, but for someone who's coming back from someone with a health scare, those numbers are great.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And also, I'm not a huge LeBron fan, but fuck those fans that takes shots at Bronny.
Mm.
18-year-old
Yeah.
who has suffered a cardiac arrest and is now playing after like what 4 or 5 months after it
Yeah.
happened. You have to be happy with the kid, right? For the
Yeah,
kid,
man, for sure.
That's
It's
true.
like adults on Twitter trashing a
yeah,
teenager,
dude,
right?
that is crazy. That is crazy. I feel like sports fans are like the most intense people in the world. Remember
Yeah.
when like Miami versus Toronto Raptors, DeMar DeRozan's daughter
Oh
was
yeah.
like getting good threats. Like, this is crazy.
Man,
Did you-
Adults, you're right, like adults
She's-
over here
Yeah.
threatening young people because
That's
they don't
just-
like a certain adult. That's come on, guys.
man, those are first world problems, man.
It's your first world problems for
Yes.
sure.
That's just out of pocket and just
Yeah.
so stupid.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, of course, Juan said he's not the biggest LeBron fan. Me too. But if you're a sports fan and you see something like the story of Bronny, like how he
For sure,
got into a
yes.
health scare and recovered all the way to 100%, you as a sports fan, you have to set that like favoritism aside. You just have to credit where credit is due. Give it its due because of how he was able to get back into health.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not just a sports fan, man. Like just a
Just being a person.
Yeah. Just being a decent human being about it. When usually like sports fans, when you ask them to set things aside, that's like one of the most difficult things for them to do.
That's true.
Sports people are like more intense with sports than with any other like
Yeah.
real world issues. Like
Yeah.
they're more intense about it than politics and all that. It's crazy, dude. People who get so passionate about sports, and I love sports. I'm passionate about like the 49ers and the San
Yeah.
Antonio Spurs, but I'm not out here threatening anyone over
Yeah.
anything, It's
And it's I think basketball fans are more kind of like subtle compared to like football, like soccer, football fans. Because like you go to Europe and you watch their chants. I mean, listen to their chants. It's like it's
well-
insulting someone's family
It's
live,
It's-
right? So
I think it's worse live for
Yeah,
football
yeah.
fans.
yeah.
it is
And
worse live.
Definitely much darker for
Yeah, for sure.
for soccer since
Yeah, because they
racist
hurl
chants. Yes,
Yeah.
racist
Yeah.
chants. What else? You have the hooligans, which is
Yeah.
really well. It's not. It's not like a problem back in the '90s, but there's still some hooligans, especially the other European leagues, I think it's not a problem with the top five. In
Yeah,
Spain, England, Italy, France, and Germany. But I think it's more prominent in other, smaller countries. I'm just not gonna name names since,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so much. But that's the smaller countries or the smaller leagues. They have problems with hooligans. So, you know, at least we don't have that in the NBA. You just
Yeah,
have
yeah.
your
Yeah,
key.
there's better like security in the NBA when it comes to
Yes,
that because like
your
sometimes you watch like football games and things get thrown onto the pitch and
oh,
there's people brawling, so it's
I mean,
crazy. Like, dude,
flares. You see flares. They're
yeah,
Yeah, they
literal
do.
flares just getting hurled towards the pitch, and it delays the game. And
yeah,
and imagine, the NBA, the fans, they're just gonna throw a bottle.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
All right, so
Well,
Bottling.
the
Of
NBA
course.
security respond
Uh,
really fast. Like they
they
would
do.
throw a fan out, they would arrest fans. But in football, like there's so much happening, and there isn't always a camera trained on like the audience side of things. Like in the NBA, I noticed that you have so many angles of even the fans, right?
yes,
Cameras aimed towards them. In football, it's not really the case where you're able to cover the entire pitch, or I mean, all the fans in the arena, like all
yeah.
the angles and such.
So
So you can't see who throws things all the time and all that.
Yeah,
just a quick example before I go before our topics.
Go, yeah,
yeah,
go
So
ahead.
a recent game between Argentina and Brazil got got really intense, and I don't know if it was, I think it was the Brazilian police that they helped beat up the Argentinian fans, which is crazy. I mean, yeah, that's football or soccer, especially in
That's
South
yeah.
America, right? That's
Get very
you,
intense about it. Yeah,
you'll see that in the Philippines, like uh, what do you call it? Intercolor, interbarangay, it
yeah,
happen. But in the NBA, it's never gonna happen. So
that's true. That's true.
yeah,
yeah,
so just a shout out to that crazy
yeah.
crazy video.
Well, we're never gonna get a repeat of the Mario Palace. I hope
No,
ever
no,
again.
Yeah,
Like
never.
yeah,
never
The
happens again.
closest,
But
the closest to a
that
Draymond and
that,
Rudy Gobert as
that
of
one,
like the
yeah.
recent one. Yeah, that's like the latest. But other than that, in on the international stage though, we had a similar case to that.
Oh,
Australia versus the
Australia
Philippines.
with the Philippines. Yeah,
So like Thonmaker throwing flying kicks at
Eh,
Terence Romeo.
I mean,
That's crazy.
if you watch it, it's entertaining, but it's
Yeah.
humiliating and embarrassing for
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
us.
It is.
It's
Like
like,
for the Filipinos, it's crazy.
And then
yeah,
they took a selfie at the center of the court
Yeah,
at
they were
the end.
so happy with themselves afterwards. It was crazy.
Like seriously, that's impressive to you guys. But yeah, anyways, quick that was a quick rant about fans and like, the boundaries
yes.
that that fans often, cross the lines. So anyway, back to the in-season tournament, the Lakers won. So I want to hear your reactions on the Lakers winning the first ever NBA Cup. This is the first ever NBA Cup, and the Lakers have been a team for quite a long time. They started in Minneapolis, then relocated to Los Angeles. So they've been in the league for a long time. So Miguel, I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think of like the Lakers winning the cup? Is it kind of like narrative based or
I mean, yeah, I think when it comes to sports, there's always something like you look at it as a narrative based thing because as sports fans, you don't just come for the entertainment of the sport. You also tune in for all the little narratives. That's why we like hearing about what happens in the off season, all the moves, all the rivalries, and all that. So there will always be a bit of a rivalry thing. And with the fact that the Lakers having won the very first one, I feel like it's quite fitting. Think knowing that they're one of the most historic teams in the league. You know, they have the most championships with, or they're
Tied.
tied with Boston with the most
yeah.
championships rather. So there's something about them winning the first NBA Cup that's sort of like, yeah, they're history makers. It's the LA Lakers. They have, if you think about where they were, where they've been in the league, the names, the superstars that are associated to the LA Lakers. It's crazy the history that they have. The win, of course, some people might go back to the quarterfinal and say, okay, this is a bit shady and all that. But you know what?
It is though.
Here's the thing. Kevin Durant said something about how that particular play, with like 11 seconds left in the inbound when Leeds lost the ball, that was one play. You could all say it's rigged and all that, and that's like everyone's favorite argument when something happens that doesn't go towards their team's way. Is like, oh, the NFL's rigged and the referees are playing favorites. But I don't think that at all. Because if you look at the stats, the referees didn't force the Suns to have 20 turnovers. The referees didn't hand the LA Lakers like 20 something offensive rebounds. And at the same time, if you look at the flip side, the Lakers, they had like 30 out of 100 something field goals.
Yeah.
Like, if the Phoenix Suns were able to capitalize on the 30 out of 100 something field goals of the LA Lakers, they wouldn't be in that situation. That was something I feel like what Kevin Durant was summing up at the end of the game when he was asked about it. That was one play. It's shady for sure, that one play, but again, the angles and all that, uh, and that's my cat right there. And
What a
and
cameo! What a
my
cameo!
cat might be a Phoenix Suns fan. I don't know, but 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 anyway, it's just one play at the end of the game, and as Kevin Durant said, it's one play. It doesn't define the whole game, so they had to look back at what else they could have done better throughout the game, referring to like maybe that 20 turnovers, all the offensive rebounds they gave up. So it's crazy to think about that. Referees, we're always gonna hate the referees, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
as sports fans, that's just a part of the game. Is like you don't like the referees very much, but at the end of the day, it goes back to what we said at the beginning, like being able to just set aside emotion and all that. The referees, they're humans, and I wish there was a better way of reviewing crucial plays. Like, you know, think about, like we were talking about football, like VAR and stuff like that. They could call at it at any time, and it's not like a one-time thing like in the NBA with your coaches challenges. In the NFL, a lot of crucial plays get reviewed. So I wish they would do that with the NBA as well, because I feel like they miss a lot of calls.
They do.
Like the replay center handing down the decision to pause the game so that they could look into it better. I wish that was something the NBA would do a lot more than just relying on what the referees did and then trying to make sense of it with the 2 minutes report or something like that. I understand like wanting the game to be faster, to be sped up, but a lot of this a lot of these issues with, oh, this what should have happened, the referees missed this call, the NBA rigged and all these little stories about referees missing calls and the fans calling the league rigged would be changed if they would resort more to using the replay center during games where they could pause the game and say, for the sake of getting the calls right, we're going to pause for, if it takes us 5 minutes to figure this out, we're going to take 5 minutes. So that's my take on the Lakers winning the in-season tournament.
Interesting take, though. Yeah, Juan. I think you have an opinion about like the Lakers winning the first cup, NBA Cup.
I mean, the Lakers winning the cup, it's I think it's a 50-50. It's gonna split the fans since there's gonna be Lakers fans and Lakers haters, right?
Yeah.
So Lakers haters gonna say, it's just like the bubble, right? It's like the bubble ring, and they're celebrating with champagne in December, right?
Yeah.
So it's a little awkward that, but it's not an accomplishment, and I think LeBron and the Lakers winning it would at least give it credibility. I mean, no offense to the Pacers, but if the Pacers won that, yeah, it's a great accomplishment. But more fans would just, no, it's the Pacers. Yeah. It's in
Yeah.
December,
Yeah.
right? But the Lakers won, so that's a historic feat, especially if the NBA improves the tournament, or how the schedule would how they would schedule it, maybe next year or next year, right? Since I think it would be better if teams are celebrating the NBA Cup. Probably, I don't know about February, but that's what I'm looking for. Maybe do it before the All Star break. But
Yeah. Yeah.
if you want champagnes and stuff, just do it before the playoffs, right? Like, and I mean, it's so weird to see celebrations like that meet up December, 2 months into the season, but the NBA, I think, hit a jackpot on this one in the tournament. Uh, I think some fans don't want to admit it, but they like the idea. The players don't want to admit it, but they love the competition that it brought, right? I mean, you see Tatum said that the point differential was, he doesn't like it. But when they went up against the Bulls, they needed the point differential and they went for it,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So it's gonna players are gonna take it more seriously next year, the coming years, especially guys like Giannis, probably Tatum want that accolade that LeBron had,
Mm-hmm.
right? So uh, it's good for the NBA that the Lakers won it, since there's gonna be some players who's not gonna admit it, but they would want that in their resume as well. I think Steph wants to win that probably before he retires now, since he's probably the closest contemporary for LeBron, him and KD. So I can see them going after it next year. And I think the only thing that I would want to improve is just extend it a little bit more and not condense the games in the first 2 months. Just just spread it out and see how at least you can take it more seriously if it's you need this win to for a tiebreaker and you need to win this to advance, right? So there's more stakes, right? So you're not gonna have something like what the Pelicans did and just put a stinker, right? So
Yeah.
so overall, great for the league. I'm thinking there's gonna be more sponsors for the tournament in the coming seasons, so there's gonna be more money involved.
Yeah,
The players
definitely.
are gonna take it more seriously. Like one of the things that I saw, like the 2 week contracts, the 2 week contract guys just doubled their salary for the
Mhm.
year. I mean if you were like LeBron, you're gonna be happy for them and you want to play for them because they're the ones busting their asses on practice defending you guys, right? So yeah, it's gonna be interesting how they would improve it next season. The courts need to change that, the
They
courts,
do, they
and
do. It's annoying.
and just have a specific jersey for the entire tournament. Not just don't have home and away, just a neutral color for your team. I think it's a success for me. The
Yeah.
Lakers successful. LeBron, I congratulations to him, but it's not a championship, so he's
Yeah,
still
it's
not the
not a
goat.
championship. Yeah.
Still not a goat, but he's inching closer to Jordan with every
Accomplishment.
performance he
Yeah.
has at age what 38. He's gonna turn
They're
39 at the end
This,
of the month. So I mean, if you hate LeBron with like Skip, I mean,
yeah, that's
that's
too
just
much.
as different, right? That's just too much.
That's
I mean,
hatred.
That's irrational, I think, and
yeah, yeah,
irrational.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. I mean, I I'm not the biggest LeBron fan, but I'd applaud him with every time I see him play, like man, he's still carrying the damn Lakers, and he's still the most important player for the Lakers. So hopefully he stays healthy. But with all the workload the first 2 months, man, with AD as well, I think that's the only downside. I think they could, they could, lose some steam probably by March. So hopefully the Lakers would do another trade, or at least they get their chemistry a little bit more so that come playoff time, LeBron's fresh, AD is fresh. But man, AD is due.
Yeah.
AD is due, man. So it's due to have some kind of stupid injury, So
Yeah, for me, the Lakers winning the first ever NBA Cup, I feel like it's more narrative driven, because it's a LeBron led team. He's 38, 21st season. yada yada
Vegas.
yada, right?
In Vegas, it's in
In
Vegas as well.
Vegas. He's soon to be an owner. I think in if the NBA decides to expand in
Not
Vegas.
according to Adam Silver, dude. Adam Silver said there's like right now they're trying to figure like
Oh, really?
the economic side of things. He had an interview with I can't remember. I watched the interview on YouTube, but
Yeah,
he
yeah.
talked about like the economics and things they want to figure out because obviously the economic landscape of the league will shift
Of
if
course.
they add like one or two more teams. There's a lot of things they need to figure out with it. It's a massive shift even if you add just one or two more teams. But
They're,
that's just like something I heard about like with expansion and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
they're,
But there's still planning,
they're gonna
right? They're
provide.
just exploring,
Yeah, they're,
like,
they're thinking
yeah,
about it,
yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, according to Adam Silver, right now nothing's definite. Like they don't know like who's gonna be the group or who's gonna be the part of the group who's gonna do that. That the franchise owner is gonna be that. The financial side of things is something that needs to be studied. Is basically what I got from that Adam Silver interview. So it'll be a while because the NBA's TV deal needs to be restructured, right? I think it
Yeah, it
expires
does.
next year.
Yeah.
It
So
does.
they need to figure that out before they do. That's also another thing that Adam Silver pointed out in the interview was that they need to work the TV deal out first, which is something imminent. That's next year. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have
They'll
to wait for the TV deal to get renewed, and then they're gonna have to figure out all the finances and all that. So at least another half a decade maybe until we seriously
no.
talk about
I
it.
would
You don't
think
think that?
I
I
don't think
would.
it would reach half
I
a
mean,
decade though.
Adam Silver is just probably mellowing the hype, you know, for the
That could
expansion
be the case.
teams. But LeBron's been talking about it. I think he just didn't want people to have a conspiracy about.
Yeah, maybe.
You
As soon as he retires, maybe you can't own
know,
while he's playing.
this is my.
Yeah, you
I
can.
think this is the dilemma LeBron is in. If the NBA wants an NBA team in Vegas and LeBron wants to own an NBA team in Vegas, he's gonna choose: do you want to play with your son or do you want to be an owner? And he's gonna be an owner. Sorry to say, like to Bronny and Bryce, if LeBron wants to be the owner, oh man, he's gonna be the owner. He's gonna be a part-time owner of that. And I think the rumor has been it's always been FSG that's
Yeah.
probably gonna own the Vegas team since FSG is they own the Red Sox. What else? Liverpool. I think they own Liverpool as well. So LeBron has stuck with them. So uh, and if they want to have the face of an NBA franchise, if a new team wants to have an a face of an NBA player in there, there's no perfect one than LeBron James, right? So if you're an expansion team in Vegas with all that money involved, I mean, LeBron's gonna say, Bronny, sorry, I have to retire, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm, gonna,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna draft you or something like that. That's just my conspiracy in there.
Yeah.
LeBron's ditching his kids to be an owner. I
I think so.
mean, I mean that's just the dilemma he's in. But I mean, maybe he can forego that and just not be part of the ownership at first. But it's hard since he's already have stock with FSG. He's already if FSG buys the team, he's literally an owner since
Yeah,
he's part of the company.
they
So
could just like hold a spot for LeBron, like he's unofficially an owner. Like once you retire, once you're ready to like, once you've played with your sons and all that, it becomes officially yours. But right now, for like legal sake and because you can't own a team as while you're still playing
yeah,
and all that, so they might just do that. They'd be like, we'll just reserve your spot for you, man. It's
yeah,
always there. You're always gonna be financially capable to
yeah.
to buy in. So that's probably what they're gonna do.
Yeah. Also, another one. I'm gonna add something with the investment of the Saudi people. The Saudi guys in live golf and football, crazy money, and the NBA has allowed MENA countries or MENA states, from the Middle East to own an NBA team, not like minority owned. They can buy as much as 20%, which is a lot. So I think that's what's the financial thing is what is Adam Silver is probably thinking about, since man, if those Saudi guys get involved, that's more money. That's a lot more money, man. And with Shohei Otani's contract as well,
Yeah,
man, that's gonna have a trickle effect on other
yeah.
sports.
Yeah, for sure.
That
That's
is a
huge.
lot. That is a lot. 700 million, man. God.
10 years. That's crazy. But yeah, going back to what I was saying about the Lakers winning the NBA Cup, it's more of, I feel like it's more narrative driven because of course it's LeBron James and he sells tickets. He
Oh, for
sells
sure.
merchandises, he gets the views up. Regardless if you hate him or you love him, you will watch him, right?
For
I
sure.
mean, I wasn't a big fan. I'm not a big fan of LeBron. I watched his their game against the Pelicans. So that to me, like, it's not. I'm not like disregarding their efforts as a team because they did well. They did well. They defended well. They performed. They executed their offense really great. You know, AD had like 44 points, 20 rebounds during when they won. They won their title, their NBA Cup. I guess you could say that. So it's the league is kind of like pushing. I don't know. This is a theory, but I think the league was pushing the Lakers to be the first NBA Cup, winner, just because it's LeBron. It's LeBron, and of course the Lakers a big market team. So now this impact will, I don't know, this scenario will impact how other teams will view the tournament. Take it seriously, take it casually. But we'll talk about that later on. So those are just my thoughts on the Lakers winning. But congratulations to them, I guess. You know,
This is most half-assed. Phoenix
yeah,
Suns fan, most half-assed like Lakers. Congratulations! Like, I
congrats.
feel you, man. I feel you,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
That time I call is shady. That time
it
I call it
is.
shady. But yeah,
It is shady.
I mean, yeah, I agree with that. It's shady, but man, Miguel pointed out, dudes, Booker and Durant had like 15 turnovers combined. If they
Yeah,
didn't commit
I
that,
know.
they would have won since they were
This
yeah,
is
really
this
that-
is why
switching up
exactly,
their.
exactly.
this is why they need like a legit point guard to handle stuff. Because I
Hey, I mean, not hating on Booker. I
yeah,
love
yeah,
Booker
yeah.
right now. He's playing well as a point guard, as their point guard.
He is. It's
He
crazy.
is.
I didn't believe people like Point Booker was like he's not gonna.
Did not
He can't do it.
believe.
I did not believe in Point Booker, but hey, I mean,
And the only problem with that performance against the Suns, that's was his first bad game, like turning the ball over 7 times. I think that was his first game. Like I watch some of his games since I have him on my fantasy team, but he's playing
yeah,
really good at the point, man.
He is.
And
he is. He's great. He's great.
I was so surprised that he had such a bad turnover game against the Lakers. I'm like, yo, you're costing me you're costing me.
It feeds the narrative of like Devin Booker and elimination games. Since we're talking about like the narratives, I mean, fans, people in general, not just like sports fans, we like to create narratives everywhere. Like we need to have a narrative everywhere we look.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
like I think that's like human nature. Is we look at something and we need to be able to create something out of it. And this like Devin Booker 7 turnovers and all that. It feeds that narrative where Devin Booker can't step up in elimination games. It is
the,
what it does.
It's
he
it
did have that
hurts.
he did have he did have that game in an important one, which is it's funny
Like he
and upsetting at the same time.
he could have had that game like before, prior to their
Yeah,
matchup,
just
but
Yeah,
it
yeah,
happened
yeah.
there against the
yeah, no,
Lakers in a crucial game.
Yeah.
I mean, KD would. I don't know. KD wouldn't sell. He won't sell as much tickets as LeBron, but he will sell tickets.
Yeah.
I'm saying, um, which could have. I don't know. Maybe that's why they didn't call, or they called BS. Officiating at that time. But yeah. Anyway, congrats to the Lakers. Anyway, to their opponent, the team that they beat, the Indiana Pacers. Tyrese Haliburton has risen to brilliance. He's really great. I've loved his game ever since he got traded to the Pacers. He's like regarded as one of the smartest young players by JJ Redick. Which, if you follow JJ Redick closely, he's a very analytical person uh, on the mic. So anyway, Tyrese Haliburton. So the question lies is, do you think this will skyrocket his career, like his performance this season? Let's just not this. Let's not include, or let's include the games that he's played at the start of the season, as well as the ones he played during the in-season tournament. So all these games combined, do you think this will propel his stardom, and possibly, hopefully, he'll team up with an all-star next season? You know, Juan, you have something on this?
I mean, Tyrese Haliburton is basically having a superstar breakout. I
Yeah,
mean, he was already a star, coming into the season, since he played well for the Pacers. First part before I think injuries caught up to him. March and April. But this is his superstar season, just like what SGA had last year. SGA turned into a superstar last year, so it's Tyrese Halliburton's year this year, and probably Ant. Him and Ant are probably one with in the West and one in the East. I mean, Halliburton has been putting up numbers like this at the start of the season, and it was already projected, for fantasy perspective. And uh, what's amazing is he's scoring efficiently, his passing is impeccable, and he's not turning the ball over a lot. I think he has had like 3 or 4 games where he had like 10 plus assists with zero turnovers. That is hard to do in the NBA right now.
I think four.
So
Yeah, I think he had 4 games.
yeah, so it's his superstar breakout this season. Very impressive, and he, I mean he's surrounded by a really good team, and I just think they need a little bit of an upgrade because Miles Turner is not your second star. Buddy Hield is not your second star. Bruce Brown is not your second star. Uh, Obi Toppin is not your second star. So who else is there? Neesmith and Nemhard are not your second stars.
Mathurin,
Uh,
Mathurin, but like he's young,
no,
he's on the ice, but
I mean
he's still raw talent.
yeah, raw talent. I think.
Rick Carlisle will bench you if you're not playing, to his standards. And
Yeah.
that's what happened with Mathurin. That's why I benched him. I mean, he played much better last season as a rookie, as an off the bench guy, and I think he just wanted to start. I mean, I mean, for the skill set that Mathurin has, I think he's much better as a sixth man. That's why he was playing so well last season. He was the sixth man. He was coming off the bench and he's putting up buckets. Um, I think who did they draft this year?
Not
Walker,
familiar. Who?
Jarice Walker, I think, right? The the
Jarris
big
Walker.
man,
Yeah.
yeah, the power forward, and he's not getting any minutes, I think. So Carlisle is that way sometimes. I think he won't play rookies that's not really showing him something in practice and stuff like that.
Well, at least
So,
he plays rookies who like has something to show.
oh,
Unlike
for sure, yeah.
Thibodeau, who just doesn't. He refuses to play young players. Yeah.
And I mean, for Fibs, I think I did a piss on Jalen Brunson, and he did a Fibs thing. Like
Yeah.
the Knicks were down by 12 with 21 seconds left, and the starters are there. And I think Brunson was walking to get the ball, and he stepped on he stepped on Peyton Pritchard's foot, and he turned his ankle, and he
Oh,
wasn't running. He was just like literally walking to get the ball, and
that's
my
his.
God, that was the most Fibs thing. Like
That's his kryptonite.
like
Managing minutes.
you were down by 12 with 21 seconds, and you still have your starters. Like, and the Celtics had Peyton Pritchard. He's not even a starter. You should
Yeah.
have taken your man. That's so Thibs. Man. That's a different topic probably with
Yeah,
Fibs, right?
For sure, man. I think we could go all in on Fibs. I think a lot of
Uh,
people blame Fibs for Derrick Rose.
for sure, I blame him
Like
too.
people
I
hate
blame him.
Fibs because of
I
Derrick Rose.
blame him
Derrick
too.
Rose, yeah, dude. I feel you, man. I
Yeah.
hate Fibs for that.
Maybe we can have like special episodes of just ranting on
on
certain NBA
coaches,
personalities.
Just
Yeah,
go, man.
ranting on coaches. I think that could be
yeah,
possible. If we have
yeah,
Epic, we'll do that. Yeah,
yeah,
because
yeah.
I think he has a lot
Yeah.
to rant about. Yeah,
So
but
yeah, for the Pacers, I just think they need another second star. They're probably not gonna get it through free agency, since Indiana is the basketball capital of the United States, but they're not a destination. It's
yeah,
freaking
it's
Indiana. Like it's
yeah,
like if we're in the Philippines, that's like freaking somewhere in Quezon or something. So
or Pangasinan. I don't know.
it's province, yeah, it's something like that. So it's not a destination in terms of as for talent. For probably if you want to see basketball, you watch Indiana basketball. But
Yeah,
as a for an NBA player, like probably Jeff Teague is the best thing that's happening in Indiana right now. So
yeah, you
I
could say
mean,
that. Yeah,
they can get it probably through a trade if they can package someone like Buddy
Buddy
Hield
Healed. Yeah,
or and
Obi Toppin.
Mathurin for. But I don't know which star, since I'm not gonna. If I'm the pace, I'm not gonna Zach Lavine. I'm not getting him.
Yeah, it's a bad
You
deal.
know.
It's a
So
bad deal.
who's the other star? I mean, do you want to go for Jordan Poole? No, right?
He's
Like
not a
those are
star. Don't.
right.
That's a.
So
He's
like who else, right?
he's
Like
a Shaqtin' a full star. Yeah.
so. I mean that's the Siakam maybe, but
Uh
I
huh.
would rather go for a younger player. So, but it's still if Halliburton can continue to be a superstar now, maybe he can convince someone to
Yeah.
team up with him.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
they have a good core, and I think they're just missing one really good star, like a second option,
Yeah.
right? So
So yeah, for me, the Halliburton has been great. You know, I think his performance this season will hopefully, like, I do agree with your take, Juan, about the Pacers not getting a star in free agency, but it will, Halliburton's performance will help, convince stars to like, hey, team up with me here, and like let's take this team to another level. And which happened to some like small market teams like the San Antonio Spurs with Lamarcus
yeah.
Aldridge, who else? I can't remember much. I guess Paul George to OKC. You could
Well,
say that. That's a
I mean,
trade though. Yeah.
it's a trade, so I think that's what the Pacers should do, right?
Yeah,
Get someone like a Paul George.
that's true. So yeah, I do think I applaud Tyrese Haliburton for his performance, and for those fans who are mocking him for like, oh, he turned the ball over, because during the final round, uh, well, you have to credit the Lakers defense.
Lakers defense, yes.
It's been known that it's one of the best defenses in the league. So you got to give credit to that. Also, you have to give credit to Halliburton for single-handedly carrying the team to an undefeated record, almost undefeated. If they had not lost to the Lakers this past weekend. So yeah, that's just. I think this will be a great like stepping stone for Halliburton's career, and he'll definitely be like in an all NBA conversation, possibly MVP conversation as well. Not this season for the MVP conversations, but maybe we can see him next year. Yeah, next season. What about you, Miguel? What do you think?
Yeah, man. Like I do like Halliburton as well. I agree with what you've said about him, both of you guys. It's really good, but he needs to have a second star with him, someone who'll mesh well with the way he plays the game. He's a good distributor. He could get it open. He can make your average guys look really great with his playmaking. I was watching some of his games too. Not, I don't get to watch every single one, but just the movement of his body. Like he can throw defenders looking one way, and then he's able to find his teammates. With these crazy passes that are like highlight reel passes,
Yeah.
levels of insane. Um, when it comes to whether this is like skyrocketing right now, I feel like that is the process that he's in on right now. His breakout season, he's so good that people are saying that the Kings traded the wrong point guard, which is crazy because De'Aaron
No, Darren
Fox
Fox
He's
is.
is
also
I know,
great.
right? Like
it's,
he's great. Like
it's yeah.
for fans to say that the wrong point guard was traded, that shows you like
That's false.
just how good. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's crazy, right? But like shows you just how good he is, but also shows you just how delusional some fans are when it comes to that. I mean, because the Aaron Fox he's playing great is he's past that level of hype, right? Like, hey,
Yeah.
the Kings finally made the playoffs, and now his numbers are still great, but because the hype is gone with the Kings, no one pays attention to De'Aaron Fox anymore. Last season, he was the guy. Like him and SGA were the two young guys that people were like, oh, they're great and all that. And this guy is finally going to lead Sacramento to the playoffs and with Sabonis and all that. But you know, that's just something I remembered with all this Haliburton conversation is like what people say about De'Aaron Fox. But anyway, yeah, there's really not much left to say about it. He's like number 6 last time I checked in the MVP ladder, which is crazy to be right there, like to be the 6th person in the league considered for the MVP award. Just shows you how good he is. I don't know where he is right now because I checked that last week. So yeah, Halliburton turning out to be one of my favorite players right now to watch because of just dazzling performances from him, man. And
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy, The I think the NBA is in good hands with him because, the traditional point guard isn't dead, and I'm happy with that. I love seeing guys share the ball. It's very satisfying, it's something that I love watching, especially because I'm a big Steve Nash fan. So yeah, but
Oh,
anyway, with the conclusion of the
I,
yeah, go
I,
ahead.
I I do have a name who can be their second star,
Okay.
who could be available probably. Laurie Markkinen is I think it's the only logical other star that's gonna be available.
Not a bad
Yeah,
So
that works out. Lauren
that
Markin needs to get out of Utah.
yeah.
He needs to be the team that wants to, because I think the Utah Jazz they want to like the
Yeah,
person we're getting. Like last season, the beginning of the season, they were winning games, and there were jokes about Will Hardy being called into the office
I
to
mean
get yelled at, like leave the game, so they want to lose more games. They want tank or something, or want their draft, their stockpile of draft picks. So for Markkinen to be able to team up with Hardy, that would be terrifying combo on offense.
mm,
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
think I think with the Jazz, I think they overestimated how good their coach was last season, and they probably mellowed it down this season, since it's evident that when they were losing blowouts. I mean, it's weird since they were losing blowouts, then they won back to back games against the Pelicans. They put up two great games against Kevin Durant and the Suns, which was like a triple overtime game, right? So it, if they want to win, I think they can, but they don't want to win since they want to tank. So I think they should probably get as much as they can from Laurie and probably Jordan Clarkson. Since Jordan Clarkson's probably, if they make him available, he's gonna be in demand.
Mhm.
Since you want someone like that for in a championship, you want someone like who's gonna come off the bench. So if I was the Pacers and Markkanen's available, I'll go get him. I'll go
That's
get him.
that's good analysis. Yeah, I think it would fit well, Clarkson and Markkinen with Hallie. But yeah, going back to the end season tournament, the conclusion. Now this leads us to the final question of this episode. Uh, Now that LeBron has and the Lakers they've won the NBA Cup, uh, do you think it would encourage stars teams to take this tournament seriously? Miguel, what do you think?
Yeah, I think there was just a lot of hesitation with the in season to begin with because it was new and players were saying I don't understand what it's about.
Yeah,
I don't understand how it works. I don't understand how we're gonna figure out all the standings and the record and all that. That was why people were hesitant about it
I,
because
I mean,
even the NBA stuff, right?
I mean that's
Yeah.
weird. That's so weird since your job is to play basketball and you have a tournament coming and you don't know what's dude. You gotta
you're not a good. You're not doing your job very well if that's the
right.
case.
I mean, that's just bonkers for players.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Players to come out and say that. That's like, bro, do your homework, man. Come on.
Yeah, but yeah, that was funny. It was one of the funniest things in the league ever. Was like
Yeah,
players saying, "I don't understand what
as
we're doing. I don't understand the in-season tournament." It's hilarious for sure. Um, now that everyone knows what it's like, regardless of who won or not, I think when they realized the stakes was like, oh, every player gets this much money, and you get recognition and you get a trophy. Here's the thing: doesn't matter what it is you put in front of people. If you put something in front of them immediately and say this is the prize, like people go for that immediate prize, right? Like if you put something, even if the NBA decides to start like another surprise tournament tomorrow and says, here's the prize, people will compete for it. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
that's just how it works. So I think, regardless of who won, I think with the Lakers winning, it's more of a league history kind of thing, as we had pointed out earlier. But for the players, now that they've seen what it's about, they saw that there was a celebration. This is going to be big. But I also understand that players would be they'd know to separate it, like the distinction between this and the NBA Finals. So players understand what it's about now. There's no longer anyone who's going to come in next season and say, "I don't understand the in-season tournament." So it'll be great because you saw how everyone responded to it. The fans, the media, it was crazy. We saw like the biggest crossover event with Inside the NBA and the
yes,
countdown. That was hilarious.
yes.
So they made such a big deal out of it, and the fans loved it, ate it up. The players loved it, and I think regardless of who went there to the finals, even if it could have been the Pelicans versus the Pacers, and it would still be exciting for the media, for the NBA. It would still be something that coming into the next time they do this, it'll still be something that players would want to work hard towards now.
yeah, yeah. I do. I saw something in regards to the prize money. ESPN's Adrian, no, not Adrian Wojnarowski. I think it was Brian Windhorst. He theorized, or he's predicting that with the help of LeBron and his efforts to make this relevant, make this significant, this tournament, I think he's the NBA and LeBron. They're building it into $1 billion business. You know, who knows? Like years from now, the prize money would evolve into a million or like ten
That's for sure.
million.
Yeah, and
You
that
know,
would probably happen down the line.
just because of how LeBron James and the Lakers executed the first ever NBA Cup. Now that it has momentum, next year teams would okay, now we know what's at stake. Let's do this the right way. That's my understanding of this whole saga. So Juan, what about you?
Well, I think I said before earlier, it's a success for the NBA. I
Yeah,
mean, the Lakers winning was just a cherry on top, and they know they have to improve some things, and they're probably gonna improve it. And I think it helps the TV deal as well, like their upcoming TV contract with whoever uh billionaire wants to waste a lot of money, right? So, uh, but in terms of fans, man, there were a lot of fans watching the game, like from the quarterfinals up to the one in Vegas, the semis. I mean, it's getting talked about on the internet, and if more stars would have been invested in it, it would have been a much bigger one. And I think they just need to improve things for next year. I
Yeah,
mean, they're probably gonna have some sponsors next year. I don't see them just not just having the colorful courts. They're gonna have sponsors for that floors now, and uh, uh, they just probably make it a. I think I said it, yeah, last week. Just make it a double round robin, extend it until probably February. It's a more entertaining game to watch than the All Star game, because the All Star game has no defense in this. The final had defense. It was a great game, even though the Lakers
yeah.
blew them out late in
Although
the game. But
although both games have prize money, it's just the fact that the team gets to take it home in the in-season tournament,
oh
but in
yeah,
the All-Star game they have to donate it. You know.
I mean, that's. I mean, you might as well play for charity. Like, come on, you're doing
Yeah, I
something.
mean, yeah, but like if you, I think I'm not saying I know what the players are
Uh,
thinking, but logically, if you're a
yeah,
player and
true.
you're sacrificing your talents, your time, your efforts, then I get the reward. Why would it be someone else's hands?
You take it, take it. Yeah.
I've always thought that the NBA All Star Game should have like stakes in it.
They
I think
should.
the
It
ML,
should.
I think the MLB already did it years before, but I think they removed it. The winner of the All Star Game will get the home court advantage for the finals.
What if?
If the
What if?
West
What if? Oh,
the
okay, okay, yeah, yeah,
if the Western Conference team wins, if the Golden State Warriors go to the finals, they'll have the home court advantage.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I think that would have been more, you know, would give players something to play for, right? Not just charity. Well, it's great to play for charity,
It
right?
is.
It's great
Yeah,
to play for
to
charity,
an extent.
but
No, no.
to make it more meaningful, the players should have something more to play than just, because if it's for charity, you just can just don't play defense, just throw
Yeah,
a
Score as
charge.
that's
many
crazy.
points.
A lot of the players already like donate to charity. They have their causes off the floor. People joke that they're like tax deductibles, like that's why stars do it. But I like to think that these NBA
Eh,
stars they genuinely want to help
it's
their communities.
Yeah,
Is what I think. I mean, we can joke about tax deductibles and all that.
it's
So, I mean, it's true for some people. I don't know. Like Wayne said, we don't know what these stars are thinking. We don't know who's in it for the tax deductible. We don't know who's in it for really wanting to help their community. But these players they already do so much outside of being mandated to give because of the All Star game and who wins it. So I don't think the players care that much, especially the players who are already actively helping their community, like Curry is known to be very active in the San Francisco area. LeBron has his school thing, the LeBron James Family Foundation, and all that, and all these other players who work hard off the court to help other communities. It doesn't really matter to them, like where that charity money goes. Really, I think it's just hey, this is what the league came up with, and that's what we're playing for. But in their own time, they donate, they help their communities. They set aside some of their earnings, and tax deductible. I guess it's a bonus. Just
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's true. It will definitely like the the prize money should stay, of course, and it will help improve the competitive nature of the guys, the players. um yeah, but I do agree with Juan in terms of like home courts, or like courts, team courts, because this season's in-season tournament courts are like abysmal. Like I hate looking at it, all of it. Like regardless of how you say like, oh, there's this one team that's good, yeah, 1 out of 30 doesn't make it like the entire thing great. So they should change it, maybe like throw a tribute basketball court.
probably mellowed it down the colors.
Yeah,
I
mellow.
yeah,
mean,
it doesn't have
like
to be that
like
colorful.
Or like
like who did the design? Like, it's a kid. Like it's so colorful,
We
man.
went to a
Yeah,
daycare
it's
center
too
and like
colorful.
they had kids design it and like, oh, let's approve everything. Yeah.
I mean, the Pelicans court has like neon green and purple. Like, come on, come on, man.
It's too much to look
Yeah, it's
at.
too
I think
much.
like if you're struggling with looking at it for a long time, you definitely wouldn't tune into the game. So and it could have been like a good like opening day thing where there and
Oh,
it doesn't have to be on the court. Like people come in and there's like all these decorations and stuff, but it doesn't have to be there as the game's going on.
Yeah.
I
Is
mean,
what I
I
feel.
think it's like from what I've like seen in a past interview, it was with Damian Lillard. Like they don't know which is like the regular season game and the in season game. They just go and go to the court to the arena and like they'd see the court and then they figured out like, oh, it's an in season game. So I guess that's like the league determining
yeah.
which is
Like,
which. I don't
I
know.
mean, yeah. I think I read it where why the courts are like that is to help people understand that it's not a regular season game. Like,
It's too
bro,
much.
people are not that stupid.
If you announce at the beginning, this is a
like
new
like if
swimming
like
pool.
in the scoreboard you just put NBA in season tournament. People, oh, it's a tournament game. Like, why it's on a
Yeah,
court?
Yeah, just like
And
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, like in the playoffs, they just have a little part of the court that says
yeah,
playoffs.
playoffs.
That's
They
true.
just put,
So
yeah,
basic.
it's in season tournament. Gordon,
Yeah.
come on.
That's
That's
what I was
that's
gonna point out. Like the playoffs, in the playoffs, you just have the word
they just said
playoffs
playoffs, right? And
on the
they can
court.
just say like in season tournament or like just a big tournament or just
Yeah,
the trophy or the logo of the NBA.
Yeah, something like
I
it's
mean,
that.
very easy.
that's they went out of their way to tell people like, hey, this is the courts. It's for the in season. It's a special.
Yeah,
I think they
That's
the fans
they
disliked it so much.
they underestimated the knowledge of basketball fans in general. Like, yeah, we know it's NBA season tournament. You don't have to change the courts. I mean, the only thing they can do is the way with soccer. I think I mentioned it again last week. Is soccer teams or football teams have a specific third jersey for cup competitions. Like, it's different from your home and your away. So when you're playing a tournament or a cup game, you're wearing a different one. So it's probably like an out of uh like Real Madrid. Real Madrid's home color is white, and their away is usually color. Not colorful, probably a black one or a gray one. Then for away, they've been so crazy in the past few years. They'll have pink, they have sky blue, they have different colors. Just do it like that. Not the courts, probably jerseys. Like if you go change the jerseys,
Yeah,
you
just have a
uh,
jersey thing.
yeah.
Yeah, that indicates, man.
But I think they're not gonna do it because Nike is just so freaking like taking advantage of people who wants to buy the jerseys. Like, but
of course, yeah.
but the
It's
jerseys has been atrocious past two
Yeah,
years.
jerseys haven't been very good as well. Like the past 2 years, ever since the league started making a thing where a team is like has a new jersey every year,
My God,
the
that's
jerseys are becoming terrible because now it's just a matter of okay, we have to have a new one next season, we have to have a new one next year, we have to have a home one, an away
yeah,
one,
yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, it's starting to become like they're just release one every time you have a new grand idea,
I mean
like the league used to
I,
do.
I, I don't mind the not changing home and an away, like you have two sets every year. But man, they know they want to have a lot of designs, but have put some thought on damn designs.
Yeah, it's just
Like,
it's starting to become a quantity thing, you know. Like we need to
it's
have a lot of jerseys.
it's just that that hit culture one was so terrible. Like,
Uh,
they just put fonts, like random fonts, and you say hit culture. Even with the Mavs and what else? The brotherly love thing. Like, come on, you just, oh my god, those, I love jerseys. That's why it's
like
frustrating.
every
What
every
Yeah,
season,
yeah.
I'd look at the designs and like I always think I want to buy a jersey, but then I'd see the designs like, and it doesn't improve every year, so it's
I mean they
atrocious.
have
Yeah.
I mean Nike have access to the best freaking graphic designers, and they go with the worst fonts. Like, oh
Well,
god,
at least they
man.
didn't choose like
This is crazy.
chiller like that
Another,
font.
another one, the Denver one. They put numbers in the front, right?
Oh,
Like,
like the area
oh
code? Yeah, they
god,
did put the area code.
area code. Like,
Oh, the
That's
man, I was like,
terrible.
they
that is.
just yeah.
And then another one, I'm gonna lay it on. The next one looks like the 3D. They have the 3D, like the 3D glasses on for the next one. Like, what the fuck is that, man? It just, I mean, the Lakers one, and hell, you have the pyramid for the Lakers. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
like that design felt so awkward.
yeah. I mean, the Washington Wizards one was so terrible as well. Like, it's
But, they just need to stop coming out with a new design every year. It's what
I
just have to stop doing that
I
because
mean,
I think that affects the design. Because you want every
yeah,
year to be unique. You want
yeah.
next year to look different from this year, and then the following one to be unique, and then the following one to be unique. But you're running out of good ideas, is what you're doing. With that method,
I
just
mean,
do it like the league used to just release one every couple of years, every couple of seasons. You know, like maybe 5, 6 years down the line, you come up with a new design. That's fine because at least you've had 5, 6 years to think about the design.
that's just they just want to sell. That's
Yeah,
just
that's the thing. It's a
I
business
mean,
thing. It's a
but
business thing.
they could have at least, man, the colorways. They could have like done better for the. I mean, look at the Miami Heat ones. I mean, those are not bad designs. They just changed the colorways. You know, the pink one. Those are, I think those are cool. But this, they went over the top. Not over the top and simple. You can go over the top and be simple. If you're gonna go over the top, just go over the top. I mean, my God, those
Yeah, yeah.
jerseys,
Well,
these jerseys.
Look, shout out to the Fiesta jersey though. Those are good. Those are
Oh,
good
they look
actually.
good. They look
I
good.
like those Fiesta
The one
jerseys
that
at least.
doesn't look good, the Warriors one. The Warriors with the San Francisco, they have like an S. Like, what the hell is that? Like, oh my God.
I mean, yeah, yeah. Well, the Suns they have decent ones.
Well, kudos to the Suns. The Suns one
Yeah,
looks
yeah,
alright.
Especially
for
like
sure,
That's
for sure.
the Native American design, like the sky blue
yeah.
jersey from last season. I love that.
Oh yeah, that's good. But
Looks
Yeah,
man,
those are good.
looks clean.
man, I love black and yellow, but those rose one from the Warriors last season, they're not good at all. Like,
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
well,
like
Give me
yeah,
an outlet for one to express how much he hates the
I
jerseys
know. I
because
figured
he
out. I
needs
figured
this.
out.
He needs to have his time to rant about
Yeah.
the jerseys. I
I
feel you.
mean,
I could feel the frustration and the rage. Just
I
hearing
mean,
to
when
talk about.
I first saw the jerseys of the Warriors from last season, that floral one, I'm like, yo, the Philippines have a lot of that designs for our inter barangay and inter colors, man. Those sublimated ones, and they're much better than those. Like, God, else.
That's true. That's true.
True.
I mean,
Yeah. Now, I have an idea of what episode 15 might look like. Yeah. So anyway, it's been great. For those of you listening, watching this podcast, this will be the last episode of 2023. We'll be
yeah,
taking a mid-season break, so we'll be back probably third week of January or
January.
I don't know. We'll talk about it.
Maybe
Yeah.
we'll see. Yeah.
we'll
We
see,
need
we'll
some
see.
time.
I
Yeah.
don't even know what my holiday plans are like when it ends.
Yeah.
I know when it begins. It begins in 2 days, but I don't know when it ends, dude. It's true.
Yeah,
I don't know when I'm coming home.
Christmas starts early here in the
Early,
Philippines,
yeah.
but Miguel's not he's not gonna be spending his holidays in the Philippines. So anyway,
Bye
yeah,
bye.
yeah,
I'm
gonna be a
out.
bit quiet in the house. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
one thing. But yeah, to those of you watching, listening, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, Spotify, X, which is Twitter, IG, Facebook.
That's so wrong to me. I once looked at my phone when they did that and was like, "Is this a porn app?" It was like just X. I
Yeah.
don't know, like, dude, I did not download this with my phone. It was like, only my phone app and mine is just like a porn app on it. Is what.
Man,
Yeah.
Elon loves his letters. Like, his
Yeah.
kid is named something like
Those
that.
aren't even letters, man. Those are just like weird math symbols, man.
I mean, he's rich. He can
Yeah,
do
he
whatever
is
he wants. But
rich. Yeah.
come on, give your kid a chance. Like, yeah.
Give him a life at least.
Yes.
Yeah, but anyway,
So
the Jersey Shorts podcast season 2, episode 14 has been great. Happy 2023. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy
yeah,
Holidays.
We'll
Merry
see
Um,
Christmas,
y'all next
everyone.
year. See y'all next year.
we'll see you next
Happy
year
New
with
Year.
Epic. Yeah, hopefully
Yeah,
all four of
he's,
us.
he'll be on vacation for about 2 months.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
yeah. He started his
Now I feel
vacation. He started his vacation
yeah.
early. But
Today I think
yeah,
today started his vacation.
but yeah, Epic.
Because I want to start my vacation early as well. So I'm starting tomorrow.
Good for you guys. Good for you guys. But
Yeah.
Epic,
Yeah,
see
I'm
you.
gonna be working through my vacation.
Yeah.
That's like the good thing about the work I do is like I can do it anywhere. As long as there's an internet connection, you're fine. So
Yeah.
you can go on holiday too, man. No one's it's no one's stopping you. There's some good stuff happening in the next couple of weeks here in the Philippines that you should go to them.
Yeah, I
Well,
think. Yeah.
Christmas would be, it's still Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cook a lot. I'm gonna eat a
I'm
lot as
gonna eat a
well.
lot as
I'm
well.
gonna drop my friend's house.
Yeah.
Have some of that cooking.
But anyways, episode 14. See you guys on the next one. Peace.
Bye guys. Happy New Year to everyone.